Hey YouTubers, Glenda here. I want to share with y'all something that the Lord told me back in 2008. As many of you know, I'm in an all-out faith walk. And so provision is something that I believe minute to minute for, day to day. And so I meditate on these things about how God has taught me to receive from Him. And I came across something that I had marked in my Bible recently that the Lord spoke to me back in 2008. It was actually a message for another ministry, but I learned from what He told me. I was praying for another ministry that I had been involved with, and He gave me this message for their people. And it's out of, it's Ecclesiastes 11:4, and the scripture is, "He that observeth the wind shall not sow, and he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap." And what the Lord told me was, He told me on October 29th of 2008, He said, if the people regard the winds of change, this was when the recession was really, really getting bad. And I know a lot of people are still in that place, and that's why I wanted to share this with you. Because if you are in that place where everything looks bleak and you don't know how to get provision to yourself, and you don't know how to stand in faith for that, this is a message that might help you. He said, if people regard the winds of change and do not sow, that He cannot bring them out of where they are. He said they need to proclaim boldly that all He has is theirs. And this is something that I pray too, and that's how I learned to do it. Lord, everything I have is yours. I don't have anything that you didn't give me. And if they choose to believe the fear, what the enemy speaks to them, oh, you're not going to have enough, the money's not going to be there, so-and-so's not going to come through for you, whatever. If you believe the words of fear, and you believe in fear instead of believing in God, that you will reap the harvest that comes with believing in fear. He said they will reap that harvest instead. For as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. It's easy to go sit in a church and hear a message on faith. It's easy to do a Bible study and hear about faith. It's a lot harder to actually walk faith. It's a lot harder to actually stand in what you believe and say, Lord, I believe you really are the provider. I believe you really will come through for me, and here's how much I believe it. I'm willing to lay everything down to prove that I believe this. And I'm willing to stand here and do nothing and wait for you to provide, because I know that's what you've said you're going to do. And God does not require that kind of faith out of everyone, as far as, He tells you to step out and not work and, believe Him. That is a special assignment that generally is given to people that are in or going into full-time ministry. But occasionally He will require it. It's been required of me before, and it was scary too. That's what I call building scary faith. Because you build your faith by being so, you're just like so scared. But you get to the point that you're like, no, I'm not going to be scared. I refuse fear. I refuse to listen to the enemy that God's not going to provide. God said He was going to provide. He's going to provide. But for those of you who are not in a faith walk, where God has not said, okay, step out of the boat, I'm going to take care of you. But you need provision, like you've lost your job, or there's not enough money coming in, but you need provision. There are still promises in the Bible that say He will supply all your needs through His riches in glory in Jesus. And you can stand on those promises, and you can believe that God will come through for you, because He will. And I had many opportunities to do that when I lived in Dallas for 4 years before, because I was out of work, 4 times. And in Dallas, if you don't pay, you don't stay. So, if you're paying rent and you can't make your rent the next month, they just say, sorry, we'll see you around, and you're out. And I also had a vehicle payment at that time. But God provided for me every time, and that was how I first began to really build my faith to believe in Him. Is when it keeps happening, and you keep having to go, okay, I'm going to believe, I'm going to find the scriptures and stand on the promises, I'm going to believe. And I listened to many sermons on faith in that time. The problem with sermons in faith in church is a lot of times people are preaching something they've never lived. They're preaching a sermon they got out of a book, or what they think. But they think they would do it, this or that, if they had to stand in faith. But until you've actually stood in faith, and you've actually stepped out on the water where there was nothing else for you to stand on but your faith, You don't know what you do. And it's not nearly as easy as it looks. And the truth is, when you walk a faith walk, you have to keep on being obedient. Obedience is number one. You have to keep on being obedient. You have to keep spending time with God, and you should want to spend time with God. And you have to keep sowing. You have to keep tithing, and you have to keep offering. And even when you have no income coming in whatsoever, if you get any income at all, if you get $100 for your birthday, you peel the tithe off of that, and you give it to wherever your tithe goes. This is so important, because if you refuse to tithe because you don't have enough, you'll never have enough. Because you're sowing, when you're sowing nothing, you're going to reap a season of nothing for that. And so the next season you go into, there's a season of nothing. And that's why a lot of times when people begin to tithe and they begin to offer, for a while they see nothing happen. And the reason is because they've been sowing into nothing before that, and so they've got to reap those seasons before the tithe starts coming back. But when the tithe does start coming back and that harvest starts to come in, it's really amazing, because God gives you favor when you obey Him, and that's every area of your life. And you will get the better job instead of someone else getting it. You'll walk into a store and find a good deal instead of somebody else getting it. And He rebukes the devourer, Malachi chapter 3. He rebukes the devourer for your sake. And that's not only from your money. That's from your children, from your house. I mean, there's a lot of stories out there that abound about that. But you will find that the other 90% is so blessed that it goes further than the whole 100% if you had kept it. And this is what I have discovered. And there's no way I'm not going to tithe, because I've tried it both ways, and I've seen the difference. And what happened was, when I wasn't tithing, my car would break down, the washing machine would break down, I'd lose money, things like that. You loan money to somebody, you never get it back, And when you tithe, those things don't happen, hardly ever. I mean, yes, things eventually do break down, but it's a lot longer between. And the times and places they break down are more convenient. It doesn't cost you as much to get them fixed, or maybe you don't have to pay for the tow truck too. The tithe belongs to God. That 10% of your income is already His. And you choose to obey and give it to Him, or you choose not to obey and keep it. If you keep it, the spiritual law in effect is He will come get it out of your stuff. And He doesn't do that to be mean. It's simply a spiritual law that's in place. It already belongs to Him. If somebody has your stuff, you're going to go get it from them. And once I figured that out, I'm like, here, I'm going to obey and just give this to you, because I know if I don't, you're going to get it anyway, and I don't want to know how you're going to get it if I don't obey. And when I realized that 10% already belonged to Him, I would give the 10% and give an offering on top. Here, Lord, I'm really blessed because you gave me this, so, I have this great job here, I want to give you more. And the results of that, the blessings from tithing and offering, are amazing. They are amazing. You'll be on a job, and there'll be 10 other people who know how to do the same job, and they're doing the same job with you. But God will exalt you instead of them. You'll be the person who's lifted into management. You'll be the person who gets the special opportunities. You'll be the person who keeps getting the raises when other people around you are like, oh, wow, I only got one raise, in the last 3 years, and you got like 6. And I've seen this happen. I have watched this happen. You'll be the person who gets the better assignments. You'll be the person who has the visibility, and that's God's favor working in your life. And instead of going through life saying, oh, why me, and feeling so sorry for yourself that everyone else is blessed and you're not, you need to look at why you're not blessed if you're not. If you're not blessed, there's a reason. And if you're not obeying God, there's the first reason you need to start with, correcting right there. Because if you're in disobedience, you get what children of disobedience get, and that's punishment instead of blessing. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. That was a very powerful lesson that I learned over the years that has served me very well. But when I came across that in my Bible, it just hit my spirit that there are a lot of people that are still in lack, and a lot of people still trying to come out of where the recession put them. And I wanted to share with you that that's how you get out. You obey God, and you bless His name, and you spend time with Him, and God will bring you out. And sometimes it's very suddenly. You might not see anything happen for a long time, and then boom, He just lifts you out of that, and all of a sudden you're blessed again, you got a great job, or, whatever. And he does take care of his children. But you need to act like his child if you want him to take care of you. You can't act like you belong to the world and not obey him and expect his blessings to be on you, because it won't work. That's not the way that he operates. So I hope this message blesses you, and I hope everybody has a great day.